Hey, what's going on guys? It's me Aiden, welcome back to another video. Now today, in case you weren't aware, Soul Crusher is now out, so if you have not seen it, definitely go check it out. I wrote down some notes as I was watching the episode, and let's go ahead and hop right into this video. Now I don't actually have all that much to cover today. There wasn't a whole lot of new information aside from Zoe's introduction, and I did think that this made a pretty good introduction episode for Chloe, and the animation quality was pretty good too. Not sure that this was SAMG, but it seems like they have a new studio that is better than DQ, not as good as SAMG, and so it's right in the middle there. But overall, I think the animation quality of this new studio is pretty good. Now Zoe had to act all high and mighty to sort of fit in with her family, because her whole family is yeah, so you have to be prestigious and stuff like that. And presumably back when she was in New York, her family was also like that, so she had to act like that, and that caused her to not have any friends. And so she had a pretty bad life maybe up until this point. We do know that she had at least one friend, and that is represented by the I love you on her shoes. But either way, she had a bad experience in New York, and that's why she wanted to move to Paris. And obviously, since she believes she has to fit in, she's just sort of mean to Marinette and all her friends, and acts like Chloe, obviously up until the end of the episode. But she still does act like this because she feels like she has to get Chloe's approval, which again, she learns that she doesn't need at the end of the episode. I wanted to point out that Sabrina was in Chloe's closet. How does Sabrina, how is she okay with this? This doesn't make sense. I don't know why she would be fine with being in a dark closet doing homework. I don't know, man. That's just kind of mean. Now, since Marinette had a conversation with Zoe in the morning when Zoe came to the bakery, Marinette knows and tells her friends that, Zoe isn't like this normally, or at least, not necessarily normally, but from what she saw this morning, Zoe was not like that. So Marinette and Alia are like, alright, so maybe this is not actually how Zoe is normally, and, obviously they are right by that assumption. That's not who Zoe wants to be. So they're like, Chloe's toxicity is just, everywhere, and it's so toxic that it infected Zoe in just a few hours that, Chloe met Zoe. So, yeah, they're like, all right, we need to help Zoe out, and that's what they do. Now, I did want to say that Zoe is pretty good at acting, which she did mention is sort of, that was her dream, but she's been doing it pretty much her entire life. She has to act. She molds herself to become who people want to see her as, right? So Chloe wanted her to be like herself, right? And so she became a miniature Chloe. But that's not obviously who she is. So she's basically like a chameleon up until this point. So yeah, so hopefully we will be able to see, we know we will be able to see her development, and that'll happen in the next episode, Queen Banana. But yeah, up until this point, she was basically just playing chameleon and was just changing her personality depending on who she was talking with. So, yeah, it's good that she's finally, evolving as a person, and that's what I like to see. Now, one thing that caught me by surprise was Chloe's father. What? He's actually a decent guy. He didn't want to be, the mayor. He was sort of forced to be by his family, sort of same situation as Zoe's in. So I thought that was interesting. Now, the biggest plot-related thing from this episode is probably learning that the horse Miraculous can teleport to anywhere as long as they know someone or some object that they're teleporting to, right? So, obviously, the horse Miraculous needed to teleport to Adrien. We don't know if the horse Miraculous previously knew that Adrien was Cat Noir, but I'm assuming that he didn't. So basically, the horse Miraculous was like, all right, let's go to Cat Noir or Plague, I guess maybe is maybe they did a search for Plague or Cat Noir. I don't know how that works, but they were able to teleport to Adrien without needing to know the location. They just needed to know an item that they were teleporting to. So I thought that was interesting. I also thought it was funny that the lucky charm this time was pretty much completely useless. Ladybug used it to pry up on the hatch, but you didn't really need that, did you? You could have just lifted it up, unless if it's super heavy, or unless if it's finger coated so that only Chloe's father can open it or something. I don't know. Felt like that was a waste of a lucky charm, although the only thing it really did provide to you was oh, it's in her shoes. That's it. But you could have assumed that from probably maybe Zoe or Chloe, I don't know. Anyway, just thought it was funny that that was like one of the most useless Lucky Charms that we have ever seen. So at the end, Chloe's father's trying to help Zoe out. I think that's really good. I think he sees part of himself in Zoe. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna help you out a little bit here. So he gets her a room away from Chloe, and you know, Zoe feels at home now, and it's good. Now, originally Chloe wanted Zoe to leave, but you know, obviously, Chloe's father was like, all right, well, actually she's gonna be staying here for a few months. So does that mean that Zoe is going to be leaving in a few months? Like, are we only going to be seeing her in this episode and Queen Banana? Because, I mean, that would sort of make sense, right? You know, they could keep it confined fairly easily, and, you know, we don't see her in Guilt Trip, which was interesting because, you know, that's not really something I thought about during the episode because we hadn't seen Zoe before. But thinking about it now, you know, she didn't appear in Guilt Trip, so does that mean that she already left? Like, after Queen Banana, are we not seeing her again? Because I don't know, I thought that was interesting, but it makes sense, right? So, yeah, I don't know. I guess we could only be seeing 2 episodes of Zoe, which could be kind of sad. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, there wasn't too much I wanted to talk about on this episode. A lot of it was pretty straightforward, and that was the end of my notes. So I'm gonna wrap up this video. If you did enjoy, you can leave a like and subscribe for more content similar to this, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Você corre depressa, Ladybug.